Hello friends, welcome to SahuStudies. In this video, I am going to discuss how about show function in Scala. So let's discuss about what is show function and what it does. So show function display the data in the tabular format. Here I have written the same thing. Show method is used to display the data frame in the tabular format. The default number of rows is 20 and the default length of content in a column is 20 characters. So suppose we are displaying a data frame which has 100 records. But if we are displaying the content of that data frame with the help of a show method, so only 20 records will be visible by default. And suppose we are just selecting a column, that column contains a text, and if the text length is more than 100, so it will not going to display 100, it will going to display only 20 character by default. There is a one parameters show function takes known as truncate is equal to false. So what truncate is equal to false? It generally does, it display the full content of the column. Here by default the 20 characters would be there, but if we want to display the full content of the column, we need to pass truncate is equal to false in the show function as a parameter. N is equal to 2 or n is equal to whatever the number we want. Control the number of rows to show. Here it will only show 2 rows. So by default only 20 rows will be visible whenever we are going to use show function. If we want to control the number of rows which we want to display, then we need to give n is equal to whatever the number of rows we want to show. Here it is 2. That's why I have written only 2 rows will be visible. If we want to show 1000 records, so we need to put n is equal to 1000. In that way, what Spark will going to do? It will show 1000 records. Another parameter the show function is taking is vertical is equal to true. Vertical is equal to true. What it will going to do? It will display the data into the vertical format. By default, whatever the data we are displaying with the help of a show function, it will going to display in the horizontal format. But if you want to display the data into the vertical format, then we need to pass this vertical is equal to true. In this exercise, what I am going to do, I am just showing the display function in the tabular format. So I am just importing all the required libraries. I am creating a list. This list, this is the ID, and I am just putting a random number, whatever the number you want. So this data, this list has 5 objects which I am storing. One is starting from 1, and the second item in the object is the random text. I am creating a variable with sequence. This is ID and comments. With the help of this spark.context.parallelize method, I am converting this list which we have created here into RDD. Once the RDD is created, with the help of a spark.createDataFrame function, I am passing this RDD to create a data frame, and to I am also creating a data frame out of this data frame with the help of a 2df function to put all the columns which we have defined here. Whenever we are going to implement the show function, the output will look like this. So we have 5 data object which we have stored in this list object. That's why it is showing on 5. Here the comment is like it is truncated, means truncated only 20 characters will be visible. But in our case, the length of the content of comment section is more than 20, but here it is displaying only 20 because by default so function will going to display only 20 character of a column. So let's see how it generally works in Databricks. Let's create a notebook. Name it as so. Connect this notebook with our currently running cluster. First, what we are going to do, we are going to import the required libraries. org.apache apache.spark.sql. In SQL, we are going to import two things. One is row and second one is Spark session. Spark session. Let's run it. So required libraries are now available in this notebook. Let's create a list with the help of a list class. Here we are going to define three objects, one and a random number. Second and another is random number. Three, 4, and this is the 5. Let's run it. This list variable has been created successfully. Now let's create name of the columns with the help of a sequence. Columns. And how we are going to create? We are going to create with the help of a sequence, and column name is APID and second one is AP comments. Let's run it. Now let's create a RDD with the help of parallelize method. Variable AP show how we are going to create the RDD with the help of a spark context dot parallelize, and in this we are just passing the object which contains the data. Here the object is AP show data. This is a list which contains the data. Run it. This Spark RDD has been created successfully. Let's create a data frame with the help of a create data frame function. How we are going to create data frame? Here the function name is create data frame, and we are passing. It takes a lot of parameter, but here we are passing this RDD. Based on the RDD, it will going to create this data frame. This data frame has been created successfully based on the data which is present in this RDD. Let's display the content of the data frame. Okay, this is the content. There are the five records. Five records contents are there, but here the columns names are not visible. So let's add the column name. So what we are going to do, we are going to create another data frame. This is the data frame which we have created above. In that data frame, we have to use 2df. 2df will going to create another data frame, and we are just using this ap columns because we have to provide the name of the columns. Column is column star. So it will going to take all the elements from this variable and create and implement as a column in this data frame, which we are going to create with the help of this data frame. Let's run it. So let's display. Now see, now it is, now this column is coming. Earlier here it was not coming, but here it is coming. Now let's see how the display function is going to work. So this is the data frame which we have created. Let's call the display function. Display, not display function, show function. So we have five records, and this is the long character. But by default, show function will going to display only 20 characters. So that's why it is displaying only 20 characters. So let's go to the PPT. This exercise we have completed. Now let's see how this truncate is going to work. So this there's a one parameter truncate is equal to false. So these are the same thing which we have done. Okay, but only this part we need to discuss. So what it is going to do? It's taking one parameter truncate is equal to false. If truncate is equal to false is not there, by default columns character length would be 20 only whenever we are using the show function to display the data frame into the tabular format. But here if you see, I have just passed one parameter truncate is equal to false. Now if you see the comment section, all the characters are visible irrespective of whatever the length of the records which is present in the comment column. Each and every text is visible. So let's see how it's works in Databricks. So here this is the data frame which we have created. Let's show this data frame by passing truncate parameter. Truncate is equal to false. Let's run it. We can see now the AP comment section, all the characters which is present in this column are visible. Here earlier the default is 20, but here we have controlled by with the help of a truncate, saying that do not truncate the text which is present in the columns. That's why it is not truncating, it is displaying the full text. So let's go to the PPT. Here what we are going to do, we are going to display this show. So we are going to take here it is taking two parameters. One is 2, one is 8. What is 2? 2 would be like how many number of rows it will going to display, and 8 will say how many number of characters of a column will going to display. Here I have given 2 and 8. That's why only 2 columns it is displaying, and number of character it is displaying only 8. So let's see how generally it's works in Databricks. So this is the data frame. Let's call the show function, and 2 and 8. Let's see how it works. So only 2 records are visible, and here only 8 characters are visible. Let's change the number. Let's make it 4, and here let's make it 15. Now we can see the number of records are 4, and the number of character of this content, this comment column, now it is 15. So this is the significance of passing these two parameters. This is n. So if you are confused, this is n. So if you don't, here it is n is equal to 4. Okay. What overloaded method alternative boolean? Okay. Maybe the spark is taken in this format. Let's see, 4 it is taken. Yeah, 4 it is taking. 4 it is taking, right? Only 4 character. And after that, if you want to put the number of any number, so whatever the column length character, it will be visible based on this number. So 15 I have given 15 character it is visible. So let's go to the PPT. Now here what we are going to see, the vertical, we are going to display truncate and vertical and n. So this, what truncate will going to do, it will show all the content. Vertical, it will going to display in the vertical format, and n is the number of characters, number of rows which is visible whenever we are going to use the show function. So till here, this is the same thing which we have done in this exercise. We are going to see this. The show function, this is the number of they display the n. N means number of rows to display. This 8, it will going to show the number of characters which is present in the column, and this true means it will going to display the content in a vertical format. So let's see how it works in Databricks. This is the data frame. Let's call the show function. First let's 3 number of rows, then 15 number of character it will going to display for each and every columns. And now true. True means it should display the content in columnar format or in tabular format. So here we need to pass true or false. So true. Let's run it. We can see it clearly. There are 3 records. 1, 1, 2, 3. 3 records are visible, which is getting controlled with the help of an n value. This one. This 15 is the length of the character which is visible for the column data. So AP column has a text, and it has more than 15. So that's why only it's more than, I think more than 30. But we have controlled the number of text or number of character from here, so only 15 character is visible. This true means it should be vertical or horizontal. So true, display the data in vertical format. That's why the data is getting displayed in the vertical format. So let's go to the PPT. Thank you. If you like content of my video, then please subscribe my channel, like it, comment on it and press the bell icon to get notification whenever I add videos.